Hello and welcome to the channel, and as you can probably guess, I get sent a lot of controllers and I've also bought loads, almost to the point where I can't stop myself buying one just to see if it's any good. My wife, she kindly calls it an addiction. I call it research. The main thing for me when I pick one up is value. Does it work well enough for the price paid? The expensive ones need to be a workhorse and never miss a trick. The cheaper ones need to be decent spare controllers that get the job done with maybe a couple of flaws. Well, this one fits perfectly in that second category, and if you're quick, you can get it for a ridiculous 50% off, making it an unbelievable bargain. So in today's video, I'm going to unbox it. That's it. I'm going to be testing it out, no lag at all, and I'm going to tell you how you can get a massive discount on this. So join me as I put this on the tech desk, turn up the lights, and go through this, the Nintendo Switch controller made by G-Story. Welcome down onto the tech desk, and as we said in the introduction, we're going to be looking at this today. So this is a wireless game controller for the Nintendo Switch made by G-Story, and the reason that I've got this is I want to talk to you about this is because it's an okay controller, okay? It's decent, and I think you should pick this up because you can get this for dirt cheap. Okay, so what we're going to do in this video, as like I said, we're going to unbox it. We're just going to go through it. We're just going to go a few of the functions just to test it out, just to show that it's a pretty decent controller, to be honest. And then we'll talk about the discount later on. Okay, so this is the box. So a picture of it on the front. It looks quite smart. Translucent blue and the red to match the blue and the red of the Switch. It's nice. Branding either side, and then a bit about it on the back. I will touch on the fact that it says it does work with Windows. Okay, we're not going to be testing it on Windows, we're only going to be going on the Switch today, but it does work on Windows if you need to, but you'll need to have it plugged in, and there's a few of the other stats that we'll talk about in a bit. Okay, so unboxing, I've packaged it all up, but unboxing is pretty much simple. That's it. So there it is, comes in a bit of kind of bubble wrap, and then you get a USB Type-C cable. I never use these. I always keep these for best because I already have one that I can use to charge up, so that always gets kept in the box. And then you also get an instruction manual. You can tell it's made in China. There's a few kind of like gram errors. I'm not gonna hold it against them. It's easy to follow the instructions because there's a couple of things that you'd need to know about. So here it is then. First look and feel. I think this looks really smart. I love the blue and the red details matching the Switch. The colours are pretty spot on as well. The red and the blues match the official Joy-Cons really well. So I think that's really nice. And then in the middle, the black plastic, it's translucent, so you can slightly see through it. That's really nice. Okay, so it is all plastic. This isn't rubber, this is kind of plastic, but it is grippy texture. So when you are holding it, you do kind of get a sense of the grip, and it feels comfortable in the hand. None of the buttons are a stretch to get to. The D-pad's easy to get to. Thumbsticks, buttons, all fantastic. Okay, so as usual, most of the obvious buttons apart from this one here, but we'll talk about that in a second. So we've got thumbsticks, D-pad, minus and plus, screenshot home, and then that's the turbo button. A lot of third-party controllers have turbo on. Really easy to activate. You just hold down the button and press turbo. And so let's say you wanted A on turbo, you hold down A and you press turbo and you're done. That's the turbo sorted. Any of the face buttons and the triggers as well. And then going over here, the triggers themselves. So these are, I've got quite a lot of travel with them, although it does click when you move in, as in it does register when you move it in, although it's digital on the Switch, but it has the analog feel to it, and these are digital. Just a satisfying click when you press these in. And then I've got USB Type-C, which is nice. So overall, really nice feeling and looking controller. So the thumbsticks feel pretty decent. There's nothing to write home about this. This is what I was saying about this controller. It's kind of dead average, which is fantastic. There's no problem with that whatsoever. So the thumbsticks, I've been using this for a couple of weeks, and the thumbsticks feel great. The clicking in feels nice and solid. The D-pad, very personal preference, the D-pad, but I didn't have a problem with it at all. Never a problem with it any registering, never any lag on it at all. The buttons, they feel okay. Just push-in buttons for me. Again, nothing to write home about. Pretty average, if I'm honest with you. And down the middle there, that's where you've got your 1, 2, 3 and 4 to when it's connecting. So when you want to connect, you hold down the home and you go into the software in here. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But once it's saved, you just click it and it does it. Perfect. So what we're going to do now is we're going to connect it to the switch. So if I turn the switch on, what you're going to first do when you first get this is you're going to hold down the home button and it will flash really quickly, and then it will show up on the, once you do the change grip order. Then once it's already kind of registered, all you need to do is press the home and it will connect. There we go. Okay, so really easy, as you'd expect with most controllers. Now what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you one of the negatives. Okay, so we turn this off and make sure that's off. Okay, you can press home, so it's now searching for this. It's not going to wake up the switch no matter what you do, what you press. If you do, it ain't going to wake up the switch, whether it's in handheld or I've tried it in docked as well. It doesn't wake up the switch. Okay, so if that's a deal breaker for you, then this isn't the one for you. But like I keep saying, for the price. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go to our usual system settings and we'll go down here very quickly. Go down to controllers and sensors. What we'll do is go into test controller buttons, and I just wanted to talk to you about the turbo very quickly. So you hold down A, it's not on the turbo. What you need to do is hold down A, press turbo, and you've got A on the turbo. Okay, now if I come back out of that, go back in again, you'll see B isn't on turbo. If I press B and turbo, B is now on turbo. And if I go back into it, A is still turbo, B is turbo, Y isn't turbo. If I press Y and turbo, Y is now turbo. So I've got all of these three set as turbo. Okay, so you can have multiple buttons, and then just to cancel it, press Y, turbo, press B, turbo, press A, turbo, and that's cancelled those three from the turbo. Okay. All right, and then what we're going to do is just going to go up here just to show you the control stick. So do the left-hand one. As you can see, there's no drift. I wouldn't expect drift after a couple of weeks, but I've been using this every day and for hours and hours, and it's been fine. So there you go. No lag at all. Nice. Nice and sensitive. Excellent. No lag at all. And this one, the right hand stick. Brilliant. So a couple of things about the controller. The battery, it takes around 2 hours to charge-ish, and you're going to get around 4 to 6 hours worth of play out of it, which again is not great, but it's okay. It will do. It has motion, it has vibrate, and as we've talked about, it has the turbo as well. So I want to show this because the rumble on the controller, it's really quite deep. It's quite a deep rumble. It's not going to be HD rumble, but it really is quite nice. What I was saying about the controllers, that if you can see, as soon as I kind of push the trigger in, it registers. So it isn't just a case of having to push it all the way down. So that was the brief look then. For me, this is absolutely fantastic value for a controller. Go and have a look in the description below because I've left the 50% code off down there. If you need a spare controller or something for the kids just to put on the shelf, so if like another controller, your favourite controller breaks or something and you need something to replace it, bang on with this one. Absolutely fantastic. There we have it then. That was my look at this. This is the G-Story controller. For me, this is an absolute belter for the price. Okay, you can't go wrong with this. Yes, it has a couple of flaws, like we're saying, the waking up of the switch and things like that. Who cares for that price, to be honest? I think if you're looking to replace a controller or something for the kids, or something is you want a spare one just in case one of your controller goes up and you want it sat on the shelf just in case, I think this is absolutely perfect. Links down below where you can get hold of this. Go and stick that code in, get yourself an absolute bargain. Okay, thanks very much then. Please do remember to stick a thumbs up and do subscribe if you're new around here, and until the next video, bye bye.